Starting the day with purpose isn't just about organizing your schedule. It's about aligning your mind and spirit to face the demands of life. Imagine the impact of an athlete who starts each training session visualizing victory. That's exactly what happens when we dedicate the first moments of the day to God. This simple but powerful choice sets the tone for how we face the challenges that arise. A moment of reflection can be like adjusting your compass. You align yourself with the right direction and avoid deviations. Dedicating the first part of your day to God is a practical way of cultivating intention and clarity. Instead of waking up already immersed in notifications and worries, you can choose to start with a sincere prayer, acknowledging God's presence. How about giving it a try? As soon as you wake up, before you even pick up your cell phone, give thanks for 3 things. A simple act that has the power to change your perspective. A short prayer, asking for wisdom and direction, can transform even a hectic morning into a moment of peace. Over time, this practice takes root and influences your entire routine. Small habits, such as reading a verse or reflecting while having breakfast, begin to have a cumulative effect. Life is made up of cycles, and when each cycle begins with purpose, everything flows better. This is just the first step on a deeper path, and there is much more to explore as we delve into ways to make morning prayer a transformative pillar. And that brings us directly to the next point: how to develop consistency in this daily practice. A prayer routine doesn't have to be complicated. The secret is to fit this time into the small gaps in the day. Woke up and have 5 minutes before getting up? That's the perfect time to talk to God. It can be a short prayer, like, "Lord, guide me today and give me wisdom," or just a thank you for being alive. It doesn't have to be long. The important thing is to start. Another practical way is to tie the prayer in with things you already do. For example, while you're waiting for your coffee to brew or while you're brushing your teeth, you could say a mental prayer. It's like turning daily tasks into reminders that God is always near. This also helps to keep prayer light and natural, without it becoming an obligation that is difficult to fulfill. Over time, these little moments take root and become part of your routine, just like taking a shower or checking your cell phone. And if one day you forget or are in a hurry, no problem. God doesn't expect perfection, but constancy. The more you pray, the easier it gets. And the best thing is that this constancy bears fruit. You'll feel your faith growing without even realizing it. But that's just the beginning. There are still more ways to strengthen this practice. Starting the day in prayer is like charging your cell phone before you leave the house. It gives you the energy to face anything. When you talk to God first thing in the morning, your mind calms down, and this is reflected in every choice and attitude during the day. That feeling of being overwhelmed loses strength, because you've already given your worries into the right hands. In addition, praying at the beginning of the day changes how you react to difficult situations. Instead of exploding over a problem at work or stressing out in traffic, the peace that prayer brings in the morning helps you deal with everything in a lighter way. It's as if an inner voice reminds you, "Calm down, you're not alone." This gives you the confidence to keep going, even when things seem out of control. The amazing thing is that by practicing this daily connection with God, you not only strengthen your faith, but also improve your relationships. Your patience increases, Your heart becomes more open and your words become kinder. Each prayer is like a seed that gradually transforms your inner self and, over time, impacts everyone around you. And that's why it's never too late to start and strengthen this habit. The next step is to understand how to stay motivated throughout the spiritual journey. Staying motivated to pray every day isn't always easy. There are times when laziness hits hard and all you want to do is hit the snooze button. On those days, the key is not to push yourself too hard. Starting with a simple prayer, even a short one, can make a difference. The important thing is not to stop talking to God, even if you feel discouraged. Just as the body needs movement to strengthen itself, the soul also needs this daily exercise. Another way to get around laziness is to create small rewards. For example, after praying, you could have that special coffee or listen to some music that inspires you. In addition, alternating forms of prayer helps to keep the habit interesting. Sometimes a silent prayer works. At other times, you can write down your requests and thanks in a journal. The important thing is to find what works for you and adjust as the day goes on. Sharing this moment with someone can also help. Having a friend or family member with whom you can share experiences creates a sense of responsibility and mutual motivation. It's not about being perfect, it's about persisting, even on the most difficult days. The truth is that every time you overcome this barrier, you feel God's presence closer, and this connection gives you the strength to carry on. Now let's see how daily prayer transforms the way we see life. When prayer becomes part of your routine, you begin to see life through different eyes. Difficulties don't disappear, but you realize that you don't have to face them alone. It's like adjusting the focus of a lens. What once seemed impossible becomes manageable. Prayer teaches you to trust the process and understand that even when the answers don't come right away, God is working behind the scenes. Over time, this habit changes the way you react to situations. Anxious moments give way to calm, and difficult decisions become clearer. Prayer creates a kind of mental filter, which helps you separate what really matters from the distractions of everyday life. It also brings gratitude. You start to see blessings in simple things like an unexpected smile or the beauty of a peaceful morning. In addition, prayer strengthens empathy and brings you closer to the people around you. By placing your problems in God's hands, you learn to worry less about what you can't control and open yourself up to helping others. Every conversation with God is a reminder that you are loved and have a purpose, and it's this certainty that gives you the courage to keep going no matter what. Now let's talk about the impact this practice has on the people around you and how your prayer routine can inspire other lives. When you begin to experience the transformation that prayer brings, it's natural for others to notice. Without saying a word, your way of dealing with challenges, your patience and inner peace begin to attract attention. People around you, seeing this change, wonder how you manage to remain calm and confident even in difficult times. And often, this curiosity is the first step in inspiring them to seek that same connection with God. Sharing your prayer routine doesn't have to be formal or complicated. A simple "I'll pray for you" can touch someone deeply. Telling personal experiences, like the time prayer brought you peace in the midst of chaos, makes people feel welcomed and encouraged to try it too. Small gestures like sending a positive message or inviting a friend to pray together can be the encouragement someone needs to start a new spiritual journey. The beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity. As you live out your faith in a genuine way, without forcing or pressuring anyone, your life becomes a living testimony to the power of prayer. And this influence spreads within the family, at work, and among friends. It's a chain of good that starts with small daily attitudes and, little by little, transforms not only your routine, but also that of everyone who crosses your path. Now that we understand the impact of this practice, let's recap everything we've learned and see how to put these teachings into practice on a consistent basis. Now that you've discovered how starting the day with God can transform your routine, the question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you going to continue on autopilot, or are you going to take the first step towards real change? You don't have to wait for the perfect moment because it never comes. The best moment is now. Try it tomorrow. Before you pick up your cell phone, talk to God. Test this practice for a few days and see how your life starts to change. And if you're worried about not being able to maintain consistency, remember, it's not about perfection, it's about presence. Even on the busiest days, a simple prayer can make all the difference. God is always waiting, ready to listen. What do you have to lose? What if you started to feel the peace you've been looking for? Maybe this small change is the start of something bigger. If this content made sense to you and you want to continue learning more about how to grow spiritually, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. That way, you'll never miss the next videos, and you'll continue on this journey with me. And tell me in the comments, how do you usually start your day? Let's share experiences and help each other grow in faith.